So abusive head trauma is another term for shaken baby syndrome. This is a kind of child abuse that occurs when an infant or young child is very violently or forcefully shaken. Sometimes it does involve actually striking their head against an object or a surface. This can cause very serious injuries to a child, including brain damage, spinal cord injuries, eye injuries like blindness, and developmental delays. And this is not something that would happen during normal play activities or taking care of a child, or even from like a short accidental fall. Some signs that this has happened to an infant would be lethargy, so an infant being very difficult to wake up, seizures, coma, vomiting, or difficulty breathing.
Babies who cry a lot are at highest risk for shaken baby syndrome or abusive head trauma. Other risk factors include children with special needs, domestic violence in the home, or a transient caregiver who's not part of your family. Children less than 2 years old tend to be at highest risk for this type of abuse. Parents who are under a lot of stress may be more likely to shake a baby. Most parents or caregivers who have shaken their child do so in a moment of frustration or anger when they lose control briefly. It's important to realize that babies have a normal developmental period early on in life where they do cry a lot. Dr. Ronald Barr is a pediatrician who studied infant crying for over 30 years. He calls this the period of purple crying. The P stands for peak. The crying is worse between 4 and 8 weeks of life, but can start at 2 weeks and then gets better between 3 and 4 months. The U stands for unexpected. This crying may come and go without a rhyme or reason. The R stands for it resists soothing. No matter what you do, your baby may not console. The second P stands for a pain-like face, where your baby may seem like she's in pain, but is likely not. The L stands for long-standing. Some babies can cry up to 5 or 6 hours a day. The E stands for evening, which is when most of the crying occurs. You can imagine most parents are very tired by the end of the day, and this is when this is happening.
So prevention of shaken baby syndrome really focuses on taking steps to reduce your frustration. So there are a number of things that parents and caregivers can do to help avoid this. So one is that you can take a deep breath and count to 10 when you're feeling frustrated. You can also place your baby in a safe area like a crib or a car seat and leave them alone for a few minutes when you're feeling too upset or frustrated. It's okay to walk away. You can call a friend or a relative who can give you some emotional support. And you can also always call your pediatrician. We may be able to offer some advice or find a medical reason why your baby's crying. It's very important that anyone who takes care of your child is somebody that you know and trust. And there are a number of steps you can also take to help soothe your baby when he or she is upset. So you can try rocking your baby, going for a car ride. Sometimes running a vacuum cleaner can actually help calm them down. You can sing songs or play music or give your baby a bath. Pediatricians also have an important role to play in identifying people who are at risk for this. So at Metropolitan Pediatrics, we try to identify mothers with mood disorders or people who have stressful home situations who can benefit from getting access to community resources or help from our psychologists so that they can avoid being frustrated to the point where they might harm their child.
So the question is, where can families go for more help or information? It's important that if you think a child has been shaken or know that a child has been shaken, to take that child immediately to the emergency department or call 911. Prompt medical attention can prevent death or permanent disability. You can also always talk to your pediatrician. Most pediatric offices, including Metropolitan Pediatrics, have a 24-hour advice line that you can call when you're feeling overwhelmed or in crisis. There's a national child abuse hotline that you can call. They have crisis counselors available 24 hours a day to talk with you if you're feeling overwhelmed. They can also help refer you to the appropriate reporting agency if you suspect a child has been abused. In Oregon, there's an organization called CARES Northwest. They help assess, treat, and prevent child abuse, and you can call them Monday through Friday. You can always go to the Period of Purple Crying website if you'd like to read about more tips on how to soothe your baby or how to deal with frustration and anger. Remember, crying babies are normal. It is our job as pediatricians at Metropolitan Pediatrics to reassure families that nothing they're doing is wrong if they have a fussy baby. If you're feeling overwhelmed, we are here to help.